Hey everyone, it's Jennifer with Rooted in the Rock, and I've got something dropping from the travel branch right now. Hey everyone, welcome to Rooted in the Rock. I'm so glad you're here. Today, I'm here to tell you all about TRON, all the things. I have some tips, and then I have a POV from when we went, all the things, okay? So first, what are some super tips for TRON Lightcycle run at Disney World Magic Kingdom? Now, first thing first is getting in. Right? Okay, right now it is running as virtual queue or paid lightning lane only. No regular standby line, okay? The virtual queue actually goes through the regular standby line and the paid lightning lane line goes through the lightning lane line, okay? So, first things first, as usual, for virtual queue, that pops at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on the morning of, okay? And we're talking about seconds, fractions of a second, they're all gone, okay? You've got to be ready. You already have your party selected, have it ready. Now, what my husband and I do, we managed to ride it twice while we were there. We were there one day, we had one shot, and we managed to get on twice because we did the paid lightning lane and we got into one of the virtual queues. We did not, however, get into the one at 7 a.m., which we normally do for different virtual queue things. So we were like, what? Like, because we're usually both on it at the same, like, it doesn't hurt. Like, if you have more than one person in your party, you can both be trying it at the same time. It'll increase your chances. But we did not get in at the 7 a.m. If you do not get in at the 7 a.m. run, they run another one at 1 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon. And on occasion, we'll have to see. Sometimes when they're open late, they'll do another one at 7 p.m. I'm not sure if they've done that with this one. I know they've done that before. So just double check. Like if you don't get in at 7 and you don't get in at 1, check and see if the park's open late that night. Check with someone. You can always ask a cast member. Ask them if they're going to be doing a third virtual queue run. Double check with that. We managed to get in at the 1 o'clock. He set an alarm on his phone. We were ready at lunch, and we got it in, fortunately. So, but we did get to ride twice because we did the paid lightning lane run too. That sells out fast, and the virtual queue, seriously, goes fast. So be ready, set your alarm, get up early, have the party already selected, and just be ready to hit that. You know, you'll have to refresh it, but be ready to hit it right at 7 o'clock because everybody else is doing the same thing. You're there like, oh, please. And it doesn't help to pray. Lord, please, we're here one day. Let us get on, right? So prayer never hurts, right? So anyway, virtual queue, you know, and if you're afraid you might not get in, do the paid one. If you're only there one day, it's worth it to just pay the fee and get on, okay? Okay, so the queue line. First, you can get there two ways. You can get there from right beside Space Mountain in the Tomorrowland side, or you can also get there. There is a pathway from the circus area, the Fantasyland circus area next to Barnstormer. So you walk to the left of the Barnstormer line, almost like you're getting in line for Barnstormer, but there's actually a pathway that goes kind of along the way the train does, and it goes underneath TRON. There are a couple benches down there. It's kind of a cool place to sit. Not temperature-wise, though. It was really hot when we were there, and there was no air moving under there. So if it's hot, maybe not sit there. But there's some benches underneath, and it takes you up around to the front. There's the new snack stand thing that's there, and then you can walk up the ramp. And also a good thing to know is there is a set of bathrooms at the entrance of before you in the TRON area, I should say. How do you say that? Because it's not at the entrance. You go off to the right. The bathrooms are up the ramp on the left a little bit. They're kind of between the exit and the entrance for TRON. Very conveniently located. They're really neat inside too. And of course, they got the cool music going, okay? So it's a nice, easy ramp walk up. Really cool to actually stand there for a minute and watch the cycles going around and listening to the people scream is actually a lot of fun. and watching to see what people are doing, right? Okay, so the entrance. You've got the bathroom. That's handy to know. It's right there. So if you're like, oh, we need to go before we get on, but we just passed the last bath, don't worry, there's one right there. Good to go. Okay, now the entrance also, if you are not sure, another thing to know about Tron, if you're not sure if you will fit on the cycle, it is very much like the Pandora ride, the Flight of Passage, where you're riding on the cycle type mount. However, there is a particular way to put your legs in, and it's not necessarily, a lot of people were worried about their size, their girth up in the chest area, which that can make it more uncomfortable because you're laying on your chest. So ladies who have a little more up here, it might be uncomfortable-ish for you, depending. Okay, but really, the thing to worry about, the thing to worry about more so really is the size of your leg, but not like thigh girth. Really, that bar comes up behind your knee. So it's calf size actually that people are sometimes having issues with. They do have 2 of the ride vehicles outside the entrance. Now it's when you come up in the virtual queue side, there's like a chained off, it's a chain, rope, whatever, that you're on the right side of. And the 2 cycles that you can try are actually on the left side of the ramp. But there's a cast member stationed there, and they will let you through the chain. They'll open the chain for you to go across. And if you just tell them, hey, I need to, check the size on the vehicle or whatever, they'll let you come through and let you back in. Okay, you just let the cast member know it's fine. If you're in the paid for Lightning Lane, you'll be on that side with where they are anyway. So you don't have to worry about it. But if you are on the virtual queue side, just tell the cast member, he'll let you through, and he'll help you size it and make sure it's going to fit. Okay, once you get in the line, another thing you need to know is your queue will be different. One of the big things we noticed, so we did our paid for Lightning Lane first, and then we had our virtual queue later because we didn't make the one at 7 o'clock. So what we found was in the virtual queue side, as usual with a lot of lines, it cuts off a bunch of the queue, right? You cut to the lockers, but the Lightning Lane cuts you straight to the lockers. Basically, you still do that little pre-show. There's a pre-show in the room, and you've got the window, and it's got the thing on it. I'll show you in the video. I'll cut it together, and it's really cool. And then it shows you the launch area just for like a couple of seconds, and you're like, whoa, that is so cool. It's really awesome. So you do still get that with the paid Lightning Lane. However, after that, you go through the other side. For the regular standby, you're going to go to the right. For the virtual queue, you're going to go through a door to the left, and they're going to cut you straight to the lockers. So you don't miss a whole lot. Like some rides, they say, oh, go through the standby line once so you can see all the things. There's not like a whole lot of things to see, but there is a video that plays on a loop in there, and it tells you about how to load in the vehicle and do your knees and stuff. And the first time we rode it, cut that part. We only saw the very end of the video, so we didn't see where she was talking about how to do your legs and the thing. And so my husband had to get readjusted because we missed that whole part. So just be aware of that. The regular line, you're going to get those instructions more. Plus, the regular queue line, there is a section where it's almost like a balcony over where the vehicles launch from. And it is really cool to get to sit there and watch people get launched. And then you hear them scream when they first get launched. Because your first time, you very well may scream the first time you get launched because it is intense. And anyway, if you do the Lightning Lane, you don't get to stand there and watch the people get launched. But on the regular queue side, you do get to see that, which is really, really neat. Okay, lockers are next. Okay, there is a set of lockers. They're free. You can do with your My Disney Experience app on your phone or with your Magic Band, okay? The ones, and a lot of people were kind of, your first time through, you're just not sure. Sometimes now on the Lightning Lane side, they didn't tell us a section to go to. We just went to wherever and picked one. When we were on the virtual queue side, they told us, go to section 300, okay? They might give you a section, they may not. find a locker that's lit up blue. The ones that are lit up blue are the ones that are available for use. And you touch your magic band to it, it'll flash white, and then you can pull it open and shove your bag in. Now, I carry a pretty big backpack, so I had to, turn it sideways, and then I had to take the water bottle out of the side pocket to squeeze it in there. But it all fit in the locker. They're pretty, you look at them, and I'm like, when I first looked at it, I was like, ooh, that doesn't seem big enough. They are big enough for a really good sized backpack. And I suppose if you needed to use one more locker, you could use more than one locker, I guess. I don't see why not. Right? So it depends. Now, you want to, so first tip, you can use the ones that are lit up blue, okay? The other ones will just be dark. Second tip is make sure you make note of your section number and your locker number, okay? Section number and locker number, because when you come back to the lockers, you'll be on the opposite side. Okay, you'll be on the opposite side. You're going to pull your stuff out from the other end. Okay, now if you forget your number, now what I did is I used my phone and I just took a picture of the locker number because I knew I would probably forget. I mean, I remembered some, didn't, whatever. But anyway, just in case, I took a picture to remember. There is a panel on the other side. If you forget what your locker number is, you can scan your magic band and it'll tell you which locker is linked with your band. And there's a staff member there that can help you as well. If you forget where your stuff is, they can help you. But just for efficiency's sake, try to remember what your locker number is. Either take a picture, make a note, whatever, or you can use that panel to check it. My other tip for the lockers is the first time I turned my bag, and I put it in, maybe I put it in bottom first. I don't remember, but the way I put it in, I put it in bottom first. I was, shoving it in. So when I pulled it out, I was pulling on the bottom of the bag to get the things out. So the second time I went through, I was much more efficient. I knew I was going to be grabbing it from the other side. So I turned it so the top of the bag went in first, so that when I would take it out on the other side, I just grabbed the top handle of the bag and pull it out, and it was much easier and smoother. And the water bottle that I took out of the side pocket, I put in first in front of the bag, so that I just grabbed the handle of the bag, pulled it out, and I was good. Okay, so be aware when you put your things in the locker, you're going to be pulling it out from the other side. So if there's like a handle on your bag or something like that you'd rather grab, that would be healthier for your bag, then put it in that way. All right? Okay, then getting on the ride. You've got a lot more. You think you've put it in the lockers, now we're getting on. Well, there's another kind of big-ish line that you're in before you actually get on. Now, like I said, where my husband had his legs, the way he's built strong on the lower end, so his calves are bigger, and that bar pinched his calf. And he was like, next time I want to ride in the back car with you. So I rode in the as far as I know at the moment, 3 of the trains are equipped. The back car is not the cycle car, but a regular roller coaster type car with 2 separate lap bars for 2 people in the back, regular coaster style seat, which is fits really great if you're larger and I love how it has the separate lap bars for the 2 seats. So it was my youngest daughter and I in the back car because she was nervous about the whole motorcycle, and she's plenty tall enough to ride, but she's still kind of small. And so she was nervous about the whole riding on the cycle thing. So she rode with me in the back. I wanted to ride in the back so I'd get a better POV with the cameras. A lot of people, where they're leaning over, they're not getting a good angle on what the ride looks like. So I was like, well, I want to sit back there. Plus, I was kind of chicken to ride the cycles anyway. But the separate lap bars were really great because she could pull hers way down. And so she was held down nice and tight, because my bar obviously is not going to go down nearly as far as hers. So that's perfect in the back, so that you can have a bigger person and a smaller person. You're still nice and secure. Okay? Now, the ride. So you're getting in line. Oh, if you want to ride in that special car in the back, you just tell them when you get to the line, you've got a staff person, you just tell them, like, to request the special car at the back. We have 4. We would like to please ride the special car. Right there for me. The councilman will talk to you about I call it the special car. I'm not sure what everybody else calls it. I call it the special car. But I ask them, hey, I need the special car at the back, please. And they'll pull you out of line and just put you right in front of where you are. There's a little wall right there, and they'll have you stand right there. And then they pull people from there as those cars. I've seen plenty of them go by with nobody in that back car. So sometimes you have a few people waiting. Sometimes you're the first one out. It just depends on, how many are going through at the time. But no shame in it. Some people ride it just because their legs might be too big. Some people ride it because up here they're too big. Some people just ride it because they don't want to do the whole leaning over thing. Whatever your reason, no shame. Just tell them, I want to ride, I need to ride in the special car in the back, please. Or I want to ride in the special. And any ride at Disney, really, you can ask if you're wanting to sit. I'd like to be at the front. I'd like to be at the back. I'd like to be in the middle. You can always let them know. And worst case, you just have to wait another round until they can put you in so they have space to put you in the line where you want to be. But you can always ask if you're, for a video or because you get sick or whatever, if you want to sit in a certain space, just let them know. Or if you just want to experience, because roller coasters typically in the back are more intense, in the front it less intense, and in the middle is good. But it varies because TRON is not exactly like normal. Okay, so this launch, let me tell you, is super intense. This coaster, they call it coaster style because it's very short. It's a very short ride, but it is super intense. And going back and watching my video feed after, I was like, boy, you just don't get the sense of how crazy it is. You watch it, because I screamed, let me tell you, I screamed like a baby the first time I went because I was already nervous anyway. I didn't know if I'd get sick. I get motion sick, okay? I didn't know how sick it would make me. I'm always scared the first time I ride something, okay? So I was already scared anyway. But the launch is just so, I want to say stunning. It is intense. The launch area is really cool. You go and but it is so smooth. Let me tell you, this is the smoothest ride I've been on. Period. I used to rave about how smooth Mine Train is around the corners and stuff. No, TRON is the smoothest I've ever been on. It is, and it is so intense. And I made it. I didn't puke. I'm good. Okay. But I know motion sickness varies person to person. I put a patch, in my experience, I put a patch on. I use these patches when I travel. When I fly, I have to wear this patch. I put it on that morning because I was so nervous. I didn't know. I was like, am I going to need it? Is it going to make me sick? I don't know. I put the patch on. And I did not feel very well when I got done. I was okay, but it was a little rough in here. And then we rode Mine Train. Our queue for Mine Train was right after that. And I was not well on Mine Train. Again, okay, I didn't throw up, but I did not feel well at all. And I was like, this is really odd. I've got my patch on. So I ended up just taking it off. I thought, I'm wearing it and I felt sick, but I know on Mine Train, I've been on it, I don't know how many times. And sometimes I feel, but sometimes I don't. And I was like, I really felt after that time. And I'm like, but I've got my patch on. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. So I ended up just taking it off. So the second time we went on, I was not as scared, but I was nervous too because I was like, well, the first time I had my patch on and I felt afterwards. This time I don't have my patch. Listen, I prayed, guys. I prayed a lot. I prayed. I was like, God, I need your help. Holy Spirit, help me. Please don't let me get sick. Help me through this. And there are also some things during the ride that I did the second time. And man, going in there, I was so excited when I was feeling okay. I was just like, thank you, Jesus. I was like, oh, I wasn't yelling it, but I didn't film it the second time, so you're not going to see that. But I was so excited on the ride because I was doing so much better. So huge tip. Okay, on the launch, you want to, well, you might not, but if you're a chicken like me, you might want to scream a lot in the beginning because it's surprising. It is so, a lot of people compare it to Rock and Roller Coaster. I can't ride Rock and Roller Coaster, so my best comparison was Slinky Dog, okay? If you've ever ridden Slinky Dog, The launch is very similar to that, where you're sitting still and off you go. But it's more intense, it's faster and longer, the launch is, than Slinky Dog. So that's why I was telling my younger daughter, you know, she was getting kind of nervous. She loves riding stuff though, but she was kind of nervous. So in the video, you'll hear me like, oh, it's just like a Slinky Dog on steroids. I didn't say that. What did I say? A mega Slinky Dog, something like that. And I was just, you know, helping ease her anxieties, right? And it kind of is. But most people who have ridden Rock and Roller Coaster, oh, it's more like Rock and Roller Coaster. Because I know it, but Tron goes faster. This one, I believe, goes to 60 miles an hour, but it's in only a couple of seconds. I don't remember how many seconds, but it's very few. And so anyway, you launch. Now, the big tip for the launch, if you're afraid some people with motion sickness, that part is the part that makes them sick. With me, it's not the takeoff. Like on an airplane, it's not the takeoff, it's the circling. The turns are what get me. But the launch, the second time, I'd heard somebody say this in a video, and then my daughter said it too. And what it was you inhale on the launch and hold your breath instead of screaming out. So the second time, I inhaled through the nose and I held until we got like to the crest of the hill. And then I was like, woohoo! Like it seriously, for my body, it was just so much better to breathe in and hold it for a couple of seconds while we were launching. And that made a huge difference. I was like, what? Wow, I'd never heard to do that, but it worked. At least for me, it worked. And then one of the great things about Tron 2 is you launch out and you do the whole canopy thing. Ours was during the day. Sorry, we don't have the canopy lit up, but maybe next time. You have no, when you're in virtual queue, you just go when they call you. You don't really get to choose, oh, I want to ride it at night. You get in when you can get in. And so, but it's gorgeous at night. Oh my gosh. We want to ride it at night, so maybe next time we're going to try to get in the evening, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so after you do that whole thing outside, it goes into the ride building, the building part of the ride. And there's like a brake section. It kind of pauses for a second. And then it drops you real suddenly and starts you going. But those brake sections, there's actually a couple of brake sections where you go, you do a turn or whatever, and then it slows down for just like 2 seconds. And then you go into the next one. And then, so there are a couple of brake sections. And let me tell you, if you tend to get, so for me, those turns are tight and they're super fast. Okay? So if you tend to get motion sick, those brake sections are your friend. So for me, what I would do is we would do the turns or whatever. And then for me, I don't know why, but it makes me feel better to hold my head. So when we get to a quick brake section, I just take a breath and I kind of reset my head, and then we go into the next one. Those brake sections for me were fabulous. I loved it. It was time to get reset. But if you don't get sick and that doesn't bother you, that gives you a minute to look around at all the coolness too, because there is stuff going on the walls, projections, because you're racing against the orange team and you see the orange cycle going. Now, if you tend to get motion sick, so for me it's turns and screens. Watching screens are always bad for me. That's one reason why I can't ride Guardians. It's so sad. I wish. I might have to strap my camera to my husband to get one of that, and see how it turns out. I don't know. Low light things, you never know. But the screens, there's really cool stuff going on the walls. Now for me, I keep my eyes ahead and I got to watch the track. Otherwise I'm in trouble. But if it doesn't make you sick, be sure you look around and check out all the cool things that are going on, because there is cool stuff going on around you. It is really neat. And it's, like I said, and that's pretty much it. It's really, really short, but it is super intense, and it is so much fun, and it is just so neat, and it is so smooth. So smooth. I just cannot talk about how smooth it is. Now, before we get into the POV, I was like, I got to show him the loot. I was so excited that I wrote it and I was okay and I enjoyed it. I was just so excited about it. I was like, I had to get myself this, I had to get this pin. Now in in the bag, somehow we got some water in there. I don't know how that happened. So the bottom of my card here is a little messed up. But I got myself this pin. I was so excited. And I was like, I earned this pin. I rode the ride. I earned this pin. So this is my pin. I'll do an episode at one point about our pin collection. We love pins. They're nice and small and compact. They're great things that you can collect, and they don't take up a massive amount of room, but there's so many cute pins and stuff, but that's a whole nother. And I also got myself the magnet. They have several different ones. They have magnets that, they had ones that are like team orange, team yellow, team blue, etc. I just got the Lightcycle. I don't know if I'm going to put it on my car or put it on the freezer in the garage, but you know. And then my daughter, of course, wanted me to show there's several. So the shop, okay, when you come out of Tron, it's really the shop that's next to Space Mountain. It's the one that was always there, but it is all Tron Lightcycle stuff now. It is a whole Tron shop. There is all kinds of stuff in there. And my daughter wanted me to show, she got this coolness. And it's got the year on it because it's opened 2023. And she absolutely loved that shirt. There were a couple different ones. There's a really neat gray one. My husband got a black jacket. It's not zip up. It is a pullover, but it has a zip. But it's a really nice understated. He doesn't like all the bright colors and big things, but it's just got the little Tron logo on the. It's really, really nice. My other daughter, they've got all kinds of toys in there. My other daughter picked the slap bracelet, and you can get it in all four of the colors: the yellow, the orange, the red, and the blue. The blue, of course, we had to, in the first bin or two that we looked in, they didn't have the blue. On the back it says, "Winning is our destiny." But she has a thing for the slap bracelet, so she was really excited to get that. And my husband's pin of choice was the arcade one, which is so awesome. The Flynn's arcade pin, which is so neat. They had a couple things like that in there. And then they have some really neat limited edition, only 1,000 made, and the corner of the box got wet. I don't know what got into that bag, but somehow some water got into that bag. But I don't know what that is. But limited edition. This one was really cool. There is a different one for pass holders that was pretty cool too, and it's like a flipper, one that flips. And my oldest loves keychains, and this one was super cool. This thing is heavy, actually. This is like solid metal, but it's really neat with the Lightcycle on it. And then my husband has been into patches lately. The corner of that one got wet too. He's been into patches lately, so he's gotten some really cool things that he could put on his bags to slap the patches on. So if you are into patches, I know that's a thing right now. If you're into patches, there are some really cool patches in the shop. Look at this one. I love this one. These are cool. And also as well, my husband, we've been looking. We have not bought any Magic Band Pluses yet. Because we're like, well, it doesn't do that much that we're really that interested in yet. We're the kind of people, we go get in line for Mine Train when the fireworks are going. Riding Mine Train with the fireworks is so awesome. It is so special. It's so much fun. Any coaster. I bet Big Thunder would probably be great with the fireworks too. But anyway, so we haven't taken the leap on any Magic Band Pluses yet because, for one thing, there haven't been any designs that we're just like, I have to have that. There's one, the purple Bambi one. I love the purple Bambi one. However, Bambi for me, sorry, Bunny Trail. Bambi, I love Bambi, but the movie, I won't watch it anymore because it makes me so sad. It just breaks my heart. So I love Bambi, but it's not one of those movies that I'll watch over and over and over again. It's a classic. I love it, but that's that. And so I'm like, I love the Bambi Magic Band Plus, but I'm not like a massive Bambi fan. So I've been like, haven't taken the leap on any of them. My husband, however, the TRON Magic Band Plus is pretty dang cool. So he actually took the leap and got the Magic Band Plus. I'll show you the other side. Enter the grid 2023. It is pretty spiffy. So, and then the special ones come in these really cool boxes. So, oh, it's got the Lightcycle on the front. Love that. Anyway, so that's a few. There's a whole store. There's all kinds of different shirts and jackets. There was a really cool water bottle that we liked. There was a ton of stuff in there. Those are just the things that we ended up with. We always try to pick a pin for special things. That's kind of our thing. I'll do a pin episode sometime. But if you ride Tron and you're like me and you're so excited because you conquered it, then, or if you just are a Tron fan, there's all kinds of stuff. I think they had, I want to say there were phone cases too, and probably watch bands too. And so check out the shop. It's when you come off the ride, you got to walk past it because you kind of go to the right where you've got Space Mountain on the left and you've got the Speedway on the right, and you go between, and the shop is right there as you go. Oh, they've got backpacks and the light discs. There's a Frisbee that looks like one of the original discs. That was really cool too. I almost would have gotten that too, because the girls have been like, we like to play Frisbee in the green space. So anyway, don't forget to check out the shop. I think that's everything. So the only thing that's left is to show you the video. Again, I scream like a baby at the beginning. But like I said, I'm a ride chicken, okay? That needs to be a thing, ride chicken. I don't know. But I could do it. You can do it. It's so awesome. It's so smooth. We're going to try to ride every time we go now. It's really, really neat. For me, anyway, it was super awesome. It is short. Like everybody has said, the worst thing about it is how short it is. But for me, who gets motion sick, all those tight turns and fast turns, it's actually okay for me lengthwise with me here. So before I roll that, make sure you like if the video was helpful, subscribe if you want to see the future videos. If there are other things you'd like to, if you have questions or other things you'd like to see me make, let me know in the comments. Let me know how your trip on Tron was. If there were tips you have to share, put it in the comments. We can all share together. And enjoy.
Hey friends.
Hi.
4?
Yes.
Are we going to be doing 2 in the seat or 1 in the seat?
2 in the seat.
And then 2 in the bikes in front of them? Absolutely. I'm party of 2, I'm party of 1. Victor, I need 6 and 7. Perfect. So my 2 for the seat are going to be right here in row 7, and then my 2 for the bikes are going to be
Pull it back. It's gonna be awesome. Like mega slinky dog. Just think of it that way. Whew. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Prepare for Team Blue Lightcycle run on Blue Speed.
It's smooth.
Hold on, keep your head up, and face forward.
Oh my goodness. There's when you come in.
Initiate in 3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
championship performance and victory for Team Blue.
That was awesome! That was awesome!
Yeah, I'm good. I'm okay. They should blow some cool air in right here. That would be good.
That was awesome, Mama!
Oh.
Users, watch your step as you dismount and exit. Be sure to collect your belongings.
Ooh.
That was awesome!
Woo. It's the legs. Section 300. Disney Travel Day. I have to sneeze. The lights, the lights. Here. Today, I'm going to tell you all about TRON. Now I'm hot. It's cold. Put the jacket on. Now I'm hot. Scratch that. You do hear some of the Daft Punk music going on, which is awesome. But it's not. It's like a mix. It's like a mix. To get that. No, start over. Ah!